What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the differences between Charlotte and Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Which one is right for you? Let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lomeli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And I wanted to make this video for you guys today because it seems that people are continuing to move to North Carolina from all over the country, and there's a few different places in North Carolina that people are gravitating towards. Oftentimes that decision is between Charlotte and Winston-Salem, so hopefully this video helps you out. And before we get too far into it, I just want to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you'd like a free consultation, anything at all I can do to help, please feel free to reach out. That's literally why I make these videos. My contact info is on the screen. You can reach out to me, you can give me a call, you can shoot me a text, or my full contact information is in the about section, as well as all my social media handles in case you want to go see what I do on TikTok. Actually, please stay off of my TikTok. I will also leave you some awesome links down there so you can see homes that are currently for sale in our area, as well as the Winston-Salem relocation guide. So check those out. Now, Charlotte and Winston-Salem are actually not too far apart geographically. They're only about 75, 77 miles, you know, obviously depending on what part of Winston to what part of Charlotte you're talking about. Anytime I got to go to Charlotte, it usually takes me anywhere from an hour to an hour 20, and then, you know, maybe some traffic when I get there. Even though geographically they're not too far apart, they are very, very different cities, and I think you're going to see that when we get into this video. So for starters, let's talk about Winston-Salem first. We are actually geographically located towards the center of the state, and we actually happen to be the 5th most populous city in the entire state of North Carolina. Now, based on our geography, one of the cool things is that we can be in the mountains in a couple hours, and we can be in the beach in 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on which beach you're going to, and then, you know, counting for traffic you might encounter down there. According to World Population Review, Winston-Salem is growing at an average rate of 0.79% annually. So we are still exploding in population here in the Winston-Salem area, and I've seen this with my very own eyes. Another awesome little factoid about Winston-Salem is that Sperling's Best Places Affordability Index named the Winston-Salem metro area as one of the top 3 in the entire nation. So that's really high praise for Winston-Salem, and I really see why. Now, in this study, they took into account many factors, but mainly overall value, the cost of living, and housing affordability. Down here in Winston-Salem, we're known for our arts, our culture, our low cost of living, and our kind of laid back way of life. One of the many things I enjoy about Winston-Salem here locally is our rich history. Honestly and truly, we have buildings and original Moravian settlements way back from the 1700s that you can go and see and touch and walk through, and there's so much education and museums about that kind of stuff, about basically pilgrim living or Moravian living back in the 1700s. Now, compared to Charlotte, I will say that Winston-Salem has a way more relaxed and laid back feel, as Charlotte is a massive metro, a massive city. Now, the locals here do say that Winston-Salem is a small city with big city amenities. We do still have a little bit of that southern charm, that friendliness of people just randomly being friendly for no reason, holding doors open, letting you merge in traffic, things of that nature. You can't go for a walk without, you know, people waving and flagging you down. I am really proud of our downtown though here in Winston-Salem. It is vibrant. We have an amazing art scene. We have an amazing food and beer scene, bars and breweries. Also, a lot of people don't know that in the Winston-Salem area, we're kind of in the Yadkin Valley wine country. So there's a ton of wineries, which we love. Me and my wife go to them pretty often, not as often as we used to, but we do enjoy a good winery from time to time. And one of the perks about living in Winston-Salem is that if I do need to travel to Charlotte for an event, whether it's a sporting event, a comedian I want to see, or a concert I want to attend, it's only an hour 20, maybe hour and a half drive. So you can go up there and come back in the same night, or if it's too much, grab an Airbnb for a couple nights and then enjoy your time there while still enjoying the lower cost of living and the more affordable housing in the Winston-Salem area. And now let's talk about Charlotte and how it compares. Before we do that though, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm always here to help. Number on the screen is my direct cell phone number. It goes to no one else but myself. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Also, do me a big favor and hit that like button, leave me a comment where you're watching this video from, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things really keep me motivated to keep bumping out these videos for you. Also, don't forget about the relocation guide and the other helpful links I left in the about section of this video. So Charlotte, North Carolina is the most populous city in North Carolina. It's actually the 15th biggest city in the entire country. Charlotte is also home to the Panthers, Hornets. It's home to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It's home to the National Whitewater Rafting Center, and as of late, its very own football club. Charlotte is a huge center for commerce, and it's also #1 in the country for banking. One thing that does make me wish that I lived in Charlotte is we like to take trips from time to time, and it seems that almost every time we are having to go to Charlotte to take an airplane to go somewhere else. Now, every now and then we do fly out of Raleigh as well. They do have an international airport there as well, but more often than not, the flights are a little bit cheaper out of Charlotte. And actually, Charlotte Douglas International Airport happens to be the 23rd busiest airport in the entire world. That's pretty crazy. And this interesting fact I really found hard to believe, but it turns out that the population in Charlotte, North Carolina is actually 1.7 times larger than the population of Atlanta. That just blew my mind. According to World Population Review, the current population in Charlotte, North Carolina is 917,000 people. So they're almost at 1 million people. That's insane. Charlotte's growth can be attributed to it being a major banking center for the entire country, the addition of tens of thousands of jobs, as well as hundreds of millions in manufacturing investments. And it seems like every year, some magazines or some websites calling Charlotte, North Carolina one of the top 10 fastest growing cities. So it's growing very, very rapidly. So now we talked about both cities, but how do they compare and which one is right for you? That's what we're going to talk about next. Before I do, this is going to be my last plug, I promise. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, call, text, email, whatever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let's get back into it. So according to Zillow, the average price home in Charlotte, North Carolina right now is currently about $369,000. And if you compare that to Winston-Salem, we're down here at $267,000 for the average price. Now, I recently helped a close friend find a home in Charlotte not too long ago, about a year ago now, and we were having a lot of trouble finding anything in the mid 300s. Most of the things that were actually in decent shape and weren't completely run down were in the 400s, and that was not a lot of house. And so I think that that math might be a little bit skewed. It might be using the entire Charlotte metro area, but $369,000 does not go a very long way in Charlotte. Now, if you compare that to Winston-Salem, $267,000, the average home price in Winston-Salem, you're gonna get 3 bedrooms, you're gonna get 2 baths, you might even get a brand new home, you might even get some land with it depending on where you're looking, but there are plenty of options in that price range. Also, the rent in Charlotte, North Carolina is kind of expensive. For a 3-bedroom home, you're looking at least $2,000 a month, or I should say on average $2,000 a month. Compared to Winston-Salem, where we're down here, we're looking at homes that are 3 bedrooms renting for about $1,600. But there is also a difference when it comes to the median yearly salary. In Winston-Salem, we're about $71,000 annually, while in Charlotte, North Carolina, they're about $104,000 annual salary on average. Now, living in Charlotte, North Carolina means that your transportation is going to cost more, your food is going to cost more, your utilities are going to cost more, but the biggest factor, housing and affordability, that's going to cost you more as well. But you're going to have a ton of amenities. You're going to have, major sports, whether it's Major League Football, soccer, basketball, all kinds of things to do, bars, nightclubs, fancy new, unique restaurants. It's really lively of a city. I mean, there's a ton of things to do. You also have Carowinds right there, a really big theme park in this area. You have a major international airport. So it really depends on you whether you want to save the money to live in a smaller city or if the big city life is right for you. And that's obviously a decision for you to make, but in my personal opinion, like I mentioned before, I would much rather live in Winston-Salem and save that money, still have a ton of amenities, and every now and then when I want to take the kids to Carowinds or when I want to go watch a professional, basketball game, go to Charlotte. And if I am too tired to get an Airbnb, it's still cheaper to live in Winston and travel an hour, hour and a half to get to Charlotte than to actually live in Charlotte. I hope this video helped. Let me know if you have any questions or anything at all that I could do for you. As always, feel free to reach out. I'm always available for a quick chat. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.